Hey, what's up? This is Antonio Thompson from AntonioRThompson.com, and I'm coming to you from my home office here in Brooklyn, New York. Today I want to share with you, how network marketing professionals handle and treat objections. So, if you are in, the industry in the professional network marketing, you're going to encounter objections. That's just the nature of the beast. You're going to encounter people who have questions, who are unsure about the industry, and they have questions, they have objections. And so how do you, as a professional, as a network marketing professional, how should you handle objections to your business, right? Hey, Samantha, great to have you on. Awesome, sweet. I can see some comments now. How do you handle, and treat objections as a professional, right? And so the first thing, I have four tips to share with you today on how you should handle objections. And I actually just read a book by Todd Falcone, which he talks about. Hey, Tia Sean, I think it is. Great to have you on. Just read a book by Todd Falcone that he talks about, how to handle objections, some different responses. I think it goes over like 20 different ways to respond to objections. But as a professional, as a network marketing professional, how should you respond to when you get objections about your business opportunity, right? And the first thing I'll say is that you don't ever want to take it personally, right? If someone, says no to you or responds with a specific objection, they're not rejecting you, right? This is probably one of the most important things you need to understand about this business. Human beings, we naturally, don't want to be rejected. No one likes to feel rejected, right? We want to be accepted. We want to be loved. We want it to be accepted personally. And what you must understand, that this is a business and people are going to choose to and choose not to buy from you. And so, handling rejection, people aren't really choosing you. They're not rejecting you, right? They're really choosing to do something that they want or not want to do, right? So these people are actually, making a choice. And when you choose to, be upset and distraught when someone rejects you, that is a choice as well, right? If someone says no or has an objection to a tough question, right, it isn't you. They're saying no to themselves, right? And they aren't really rejecting you personally, right? This network marketing business, being a professional, you have to make the conscious decision that you're not going to be addicted to the outcome and not allow someone else's behavior to alter how you feel and how you feel about the industry, right? So don't ever take it personal when someone says, no, or they have questions or they have objections. It has nothing to do with you, right? You presented them with something that you thought could, certainly help them and help them solve a problem, and they're choosing not to, take the information, take the product, service, opportunity, and not go with it. And that's just what they're doing. It's not about you. It's about them. The second thing that I think professionals do when it comes to handling objections is that they don't get defensive or argumentative with prospects, right? And I get it. We are all passionate about what we have, our business, our products, our opportunities, etc. And we want people to see that same excitement, see what we see in our businesses and our products. But the last thing you want to do is get defensive and argumentative with someone, right? It actually shows a sign of weakness and desperation, right? When you are, arguing with someone about why it's not a pyramid scheme, when you are arguing with someone, why these products are the best thing on the market, when you're arguing with someone, about, having a job versus being self-employed and starting your own business, you actually sound pretty desperate, and it comes from a place of weakness, right? You'll be much better off if you're very calm, cool, collected, and when people respond to you with tough questions and objections, you either, if you have the answer, you respond to the question, If you don't have the answer, you go find the answer, but don't get defensive and argumentative with people, right? It's just not worth it, right? You know what you have, you know the value in your product, service, and opportunity, and if someone doesn't seize it, that's just their business. Again, don't try and convince people about what you have and why they should get involved. Don't be defensive, don't be argumentative. The third tip is that you have to allow your confidence to be your guide, right? We know that the network marketing industry is a billion-dollar industry. We know that the products, the services, what you offer is of the highest quality and, the best best products out there in the marketplace. And when you come across as someone who is with a state of conviction and confidence and assuredness, showing that excitement and passion in all that you do will make it a much better approach for when you're addressing common questions and objections, right? Be confident in what you know. Be confident in your product. Be confident in your comp plan. Be confident in the industry, right? People don't want to work with someone who doesn't have confidence, right? You got to have that posture. That's very, very important. How you choose to respond will make the big difference in your outcome. Objections, when people give you objections, they're actually very good to get objections, because that means they're actually interested in what it is you have to offer, right? They have questions, right? Someone having questions about your product, having questions about the comp plan, having questions about the industry in general is actually a positive and a great thing for you and for your business. The fourth tip I'll share is that on this journey to become a network marketing professional and expert in addressing questions and objections, you may need to get some assistance, right? So if there are questions that you don't have the answer to, you may want to seek out additional help from your upline sponsor or an expert in the company that's been in it for a while to get their thoughts on an objection or a question that you couldn't handle, right? You don't want to get to when you're having conversations with people, you don't want to get to a point where they have an objection and you're fishing for the answer, right? You're trying to make stuff up. You're trying to be, creative to make it seem like you know everything. And you can easily just say, well, that's a great question. Let me get back to you on that. I have a sponsor or an upline who's an expert and knows more about the company than I do. I can actually connect you with them through a three-way call or a conference call where you can actually get that question answered. Never pretend to be an expert if you don't know the answers, right? So seek out help, seek out guidance, and don't be afraid to contact people who have the results you desire and who can answer questions that come across that you don't have the answer to. Anytime a tough question or objection come along that you feel you can't handle or didn't handle well, write it down. And definitely go to someone who has a lot more experience than you do. Ask them, how would they respond to that particular question. And the next time you get that objection, you now have an answer that you can actually use and share if that objection comes around. And so the key thing to remember when handling objections is that your prospects just want to feel comfortable, right? They want to be comfortable and ultimately just feel good about what they're considering moving forward with, right? The questions they're probably asking in their mind, does it work? Is this really real? Will it work for me? Can I do this, or will you actually help me with this? And if you approach the objections that you get with those questions in mind, it will make prospecting and handling those objections in a network marketing professional, as a network marketing professional and in a professional manner, go a long way. So let me just quickly review the four things I mentioned in terms of how professionals, we're talking about network marketing professionals, handle and treat objections. The first tip is don't take it personal, right? Don't be addicted to the outcome. When someone says no, when someone has objections, they're not objecting to you. They're objecting because of whatever it is they have going on in their lives, why they don't want to do this business. It's about them. It's not about you. Second tip is don't be argumentative or defensive with prospects, right? Don't try and convince people. Don't, be argumentative or defensive about the industry. Don't get upset. Don't, try to convince them, basically. The third tip is, be confident. The industry is a great one and a valuable one, and it's a billion-dollar industry. Your products and services are great. Be confident in what you're sharing. No one wants to join someone who's weak and doesn't have posture. So be strong in your convictions about what this industry is and can do. Last tip: if you do need help and guidance, rely on someone who has the expertise. Your upline sponsor who may have been in for a while. Get support. Get some guidance through three-way calls, conference calls. Connect with experts if you don't have the answer to handle a certain objection. So I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, please like it, share it, and comment on it. And definitely go to my website at AntonioRThompson.com and grab my free 5-day boot camp where I actually share with you, how to exactly build your business on Facebook, how to get more leads, sales, and signups effortlessly on social media. Click the link at the end of this video. It may be in the description box below or on the screen. Click the link and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.